Hello everyone and welcome back. It is Francesco here. I wanted to do a few opinions on Roam Research. This has been a video that I've actually wanted to do for a while. I get the question sometimes like, because I check out so many applications, what are your opinions on Roam? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Like, why don't you use it? And things like that. And of course, it's not for everyone, but I wanted to share a few thoughts because I think it's important to give an expression of why I don't use it, but also why it's also a very interesting topic at the moment. So I guess to start, I sort of view my job as like a sort of dealership with productivity apps. Like, I am the salesperson running the dealership, and if somebody that like a 7-person family walks in, I'm not going to point them towards the Mini convertible because it may not be suitable for them, but I might point them towards a 7-seater Volvo. And I really view productivity apps like cars because in the end, they all get you from A to B, but at the same time, some are better, some are more suitable, some are more prepared for you, and much better. And sometimes when you find that perfect car, you never want to move because it's a really nice experience, and as long as it doesn't break down, you're going to have it for many years and use it and invest in it and just take advantage of it. This metaphor is going to go when obviously climate change gets worse, of course. But as you can imagine, that's how I view the applications. But at the same time, in the dealership, I still drive away with a different car at the end of the day. I have my own opinions, and I definitely am not going to be driving the same car as that 7-seat family. Maybe at the moment, but you get what I mean. I have different opinions, and I'm going to be driving a different car away. So just to that's sort of like a warmer to how my sort of take is on this. And I think Roam Research is a really powerful tool. I think they've done an absolutely amazing job at continuing to innovate, and what I quite like about them is that they're staying nimble, and that's something I really admire. I think Connor White-Sullivan is a really interesting fella. He seems to have really positioned himself in terms of like a thought leader, but also an innovator with the application. So I really like that. And I think the community, it's really good to see a community so invested in an application, but also sharing how they use it and really trying to push people to their limitations. That's really cool. And especially, when there is, such a wide range of perspectives to gain value from. I guess the thing I don't like is sometimes there's a little bit of beef on this Twitter and places like that, because Roam Research is they call them the Roam cult. The people that follow them, they're so invested in it that sometimes they may not see why a certain person uses their applications, or they get I not necessarily antagonized but when someone like Roam introduces things like backlinks, you would get a bit sort of annoyed because you're like, we've had this concept for quite a while. It's very similar to I always see this as like Android users who, had these features like widgets for absolutely ages, and then in iOS 14, 10 years later, Apple released them and everyone goes crazy like they're something brand new, but they've been in Android for ages. So you can see, I think I can see it from their perspective. They're early adopters, they're real fanboys of these applications of Roam Research, so they're definitely passionate about it. But as a community, I think they're probably maybe they missed the point sometimes, the fact that Notion, well, at least from my learnings, they aren't trying to compete with Roam. I've definitely had some thoughts over the weekend about this. They're not trying to compete with Roam because, well, they are and they aren't. They are in terms of innovation in the note-taking space. It's sort of like if, I don't know, when Volvo adds the seatbelt, at the start, that obviously Notion are going to be like, oh my god, that's a great idea, let's add that. So, they're seeing where they can improve and add that. But Notion, I would say, is more intermediate use than Roam is. I always think Roam is more of an advanced application versus Notion. I definitely think it takes a lot more sort of deeper knowledge and insight in terms of using it, and that's where I think it's really interesting to keep to keep an eye on. So the reason I'm not using it above Notion, and Notion as my hub of my notes at the moment, is one of two reasons. One, because I feel like it's too powerful for me. I'm not really that much of a deep guy when it comes to productivity setups. Like, I was happy with Evernote for a fair while, now with Notion I feel pretty happy. Like, I don't really want to go too much further. I don't use many advanced databases. I just keep things simple. So in terms of use, like, I may be going for something more suitable for me. And the second is the pricing. Whilst I don't necessarily have a budget for my productivity applications, because I review them, I check them out, and that's sort of my job in Blend. But at the same time, I think the pricing for me is just a bit too much, especially when times get a little bit tough. If I would need to cut my expenses more, I feel like that may be a little bit out my budget range. I don't know, maybe I'm being too skeptical, and maybe pricing like this will become more common in the future. But there are my opinions on Roam. I don't think it's a bad thing. And as I said, the dealership, when it comes to that, I always like to point people towards where it's relevant and useful. We've had so many people on here on the channel that have come and gone, I need more advanced note taking. And when they've been introduced to Notion through our videos, they've gone, oh my goodness, this makes total sense. And others that have gone, oh no, I don't need that. I need something like Notion or Obsidian or something like that. So as you can see, there are my opinions. I definitely think it's a wicked application, and I love to see updates, and I definitely admire the community, and I admire Connor's work and all the team's work. It's very interesting, and it will definitely keep me busy over the next couple of months for sure. But folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I would love to hear your opinions on Roam. Do you think similar to me, or do you never like ever want to use it, or will you ever sort of be, or you currently are properly invested in the application? Folks, I hope this helped. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. I'll keep an eye on the comments. Cheerio, folks.